Hey guys, welcome back to the Lovin Dubai Show podcast. Top stories for you today. Flight delays to the UK expected.
We also spoke about the full moon, aka the super moon, aka the blue moon, and how it's going to be seen across night skies all over the world starting tomorrow. So what's the phenomena behind that and where you can be watching it from, catching the best spectacle. We'll be telling you all about it on the show.
It's a pretty moon, so basically, don't forget to look up. We also spoke about stolen supercars found on the way to Dubai, and then Richard Fitzgerald completed an IRONMAN Cork. He basically gave us the lowdown on how to prep, how to plan, tips for travel, and all of that on the show. Followed by Simran, what I would call literally the most insightful and inspirational interview we've had on the show.
Oh, 100% Casey. We were joined by Saygin, Yalcin. He dropped so many truth bombs on just business in Dubai, tips for entrepreneurs. He had a whole set of businesses that he set up initially and that was acquired by Su.com, then acquired by Amazon. So just a great trajectory there and one podcast you should definitely be listening to.
Good morning, Dubai. Welcome back to the Lovin Dubai Show, where we go through the top trending stories that everyone across the country is talking about. Of course, happy Onam to everyone celebrating. Our top story today, flight delays to the UK are expected.
We'll also be talking about stolen supercars found on the way to Dubai.
We're talking all about the moon, the supermoon, aka a rare moon that's coming in the next few days.
And then Richard Fitzgerald, the CEO of Lovin Dubai and Augustus Media, completed IRONMAN Cork, and we're going to have him on the show to tell us all about it.
We're getting the tips on that. And then later in the show, we're going to be joined by one of the biggest and most popular business moguls in the city. His company made $1.1 million in the first 8 week of operations. He's the founder and CEO of Supercars, which was eventually acquired by Su.com. And then Amazon. He's going to be joining us. That is, of course, Saygin. Yalcin will be with us at 8:50. But before we get to all of that...
Before we get him, you're looking beautiful.
You're looking beautiful,
Casey.
Simran.
Happy Onam.
Happy Onam to you.
Thank you.
We are not the only people dressed like this in the office. Shall we tell people why?
Yes, so we have, I think, every Indian today in our office dressed in Onam attire because it is like the biggest Malayali festival, Hindu harvest festival in India. And Malayalis all over the world, they celebrate this, and it's just a very fun time of like, it's like Christmas meets New Year's meets Diwali. It's like, amalgamation of all these festivals. So it's a lot of fun and like lots of food. Sadhya, which you're going to have today on banana leaves.
Yes, at 2 o'clock I hear it's coming. I'm much excited about it. And why are we celebrating?
So it's practically a harvest festival, and back in the days, it was to welcome King Mahabali into the city of Kerala, and it was just a very joyous time, and it's not exclusive to one religion. Although it's a Hindu festival, like it's celebrated by Malayalis of all religions, all castes, and it's just a very fun time. Like everyone gathers together, dresses up in Onam attire, eats Onam food. It's gift exchanges, like very much like Eid as well. So it's just a very wholesome time.
No, I'm feeling it because like for the last, we have so many different types of celebrations across the year with so many different cultures, religions, people, nationalities. But for Onam, it's been the topic of discussion for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Just to talk about what shoes he was going to wear. Because I was writing an article that mentioned Onam, and it's like a 10-day celebration.
Yeah.
So why are we celebrating today?
So it's usually 10 days, right? It's from August to September, and I think it's going to be ending August 31st this year. Usually the dates vary. And today we're just celebrating in the office because I think today is one of the main 4 days. Yeah. And now we chose today as the day to celebrate Onam in the office, when everyone dresses up, one dedicated day for it. So it's going to be so nice. Look, guys, whoever is celebrating Onam, let us know how you'll be celebrating. If you guys are celebrating in your offices, I know so many HRs across Dubai, they go all out for like Diwali and Onam, and they decorate the offices with like poolam. They have these like flower decorations. Everyone comes dressed up. Like that's what you love about Dubai, regardless of like what nationality, culture. Everyone partakes.
Yeah, that's so true.
No?
But what does it mean? So like in the office, a lot of people are dressing traditionally, which is super nice. And then we're all going to have a lunch together at 2, which is cool too.
Yeah.
But what do you do? Like what would you do with your friends and family? Like what's the kind of typical celebration?
Okay, so Malayalis usually what they do is like they meet with their friends and family and they have sadhyas together. That's like meals. They sit on the floor with banana leaves and they have like different varieties, and it's just they just spend time with family and friends. It's just get together. You know, like you participate in the traditional dance. You play a little bit of like.
Oh, shall we be dancing later, you and I?
I have no idea what the dance is, but like for sure, we'll ask Taz to teach us.
Okay, could you teach Taz? You watching? Could you teach us a dance right on this show? That is like the last thing. Taz is our office manager. She was not coming close to the studio when we're live.
Definitely not.
But there is a dance that we could learn. That's what you're saying.
I guess so. And it's just like people, you know, like families and friends, they just play games.
Get together, games and stuff.
Yeah, like just fun stuff and like, yeah, like wholesome times, you know, like just talking and like phones away, TVs away, just music and laughter and fun. And that's what you want. Like that's what these festivals bring out.
So true. Family, friends, getting together, celebrations are literally the best thing we have in life. They bring the most joy. So happy Onam to everyone celebrating. Looking forward to my lunch later. Let's jump into our top story. Unfortunately, if you're flying in and out of the UK, in the next day or two, there are some delays expected. Now, as you may or may not be aware, it's a bank holiday over there. So this is one of the busiest weekends for travel in the UK. And at the worst moment that could possibly happen, there has been a major tech meltdown in UK air traffic control, meaning they had to cancel 500 flights. There are even more delays. With problems that could last for days. They have fixed the problem now, but can you imagine that much of a flight network going out of sync? People were on the ground for 12 hours. People have been told not to go to the airport. So if you are flying to the UK, check your flight in advance.
Oh my God, this is the worst part about traveling, like all these issues that arise so randomly. But passengers were asked to only travel to the airport once the National Air Traffic Service said it had identified and remedied the technical issue affecting our flight system, and now working closely with airlines and airports to manage the flights affected as efficiently as possible. But UAE Airlines have also issued advisories.
Yes, they have. So the fix has happened. The solution is there. However, they just need to get back on track at this point. So Emirates cautioned. Emirates has been advised that a widespread system failure within UK air traffic control happened on August 28th. It has been rectified. Emirates added all flights currently en route to the UK will be allowed to land, but flights departing the UK may experience delays. The airline apologised for the inconvenience.
Etihad Airways is advising passengers traveling to and from London and Manchester that there may be flight delays due to the ongoing flight data processing system failure affecting all airlines operating in the UK. And you can check etihad.com/manage for flight updates. But I mean, all said and done, of course, it is so inconvenient to have these delays in the first place, but great that they're taking the precautions because you just do not want to risk it. Like with flights and like your takeoffs, and then you have to emergency landings, you lose communication with the control system. Like you don't want any of that.
No.
So,
have you ever been? I think there is delayed at the airport.
Yeah.
And then I think the most frustrating one has been delayed on an airplane. Has that ever happened to you?
Oh yeah, so many times. Has it happened to you?
Not so much that I'm remembering.
Like 1 hour delays. Like
1 hour,
yeah.
Maybe an hour. Yeah, that's true. And you're sitting there. You're like, I thought we were meant to take off, and you know, I was like, at this point in the flight, I had planned to be eating my meal, but yet I'm still on the ground, which means my meal is going to be delayed, which means now my stomach is rumbling, and now I need to apologize to the person left and right of me, and
now you're hangry, and you're frustrated, and you're sleepy, and your whole schedule is ruined, and the car that's waiting for you at your destination.
And you don't have Wi-Fi because you've got onto the airline and you're in a different city. Anyway, luckily not affected as much here in the UAE. However, the national airlines have said check online before you travel because delays might be expected.
A lot of people are messaging us right now saying there's traffic on the way to school. School is officially back. Yes, schools are back.
Schools are back, guys. It's day 2 of the rollout of 1 million students returning to the classroom. We went big on the positivity of what that means for the nation.
Yes.
But also, like the real life, we just had Joseph coming into the office with his baby girl, and she's on her way to
first day of
her
school.
First day of school. She's in her uniform. It is the most adorable thing.
It's so exciting. Like it is so exciting for little kids and parents this stage. But for those who don't
send them off.
Off you
My
go.
job is done. Teachers, you have been trained for this. Do your best, do your worst.
Oh my gosh, it's actually like they're the front line of defense now, no? It's like they're going to war.
Best of luck to all the teachers. I've been in your shoes, and I know that after your first year,
Yeah.
when you go back the second year, you've always forgotten what the kids were like on their first day, especially with the young children, because they develop and they progress so much in 1 year.
Yeah.
So if you were with a group of kids, let's say they're starting first grade.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the year, they're ready for second grade. So they have developed, they have grown a lot. They've learned, all the basics.
Yeah.
And then you go back into first day again, and it's like it's Groundhog Day, and you're just,
Yes.
how do you not know this?
That's so true. That's so true. Oh my gosh. I never really envisioned what it was like to be a teacher, that cycle of like this again.
But much rewarding.
Much rewarding. Of course. Yes, of course.
And they're awfully cute.
Oh.
Awfully cute. Anyway, best of luck to everyone. Yes, there is traffic. Unfortunately, that is the nature of the city that we live in when it's a city when school returns traffic. So follow the guidelines issued by the schools as best you can.
Well, yeah, that is mornings for you, but your nights are looking up starting tomorrow because the biggest full moon and Saturn to illuminate the night sky. So step right up, stargazers. It's time to raise your eyes to the cosmos and witness the grand celestial spectacle waiting just above. This week we're going full on once in a blue moon mode, and we're in for August's second full moon, which technically fits the blue moon definition. It swings by every 2.7 years, and it's very, very cool. The sky will so it will happen on the night of August 30th, which, if I'm not wrong, should be tomorrow. The sky will illuminate with the majestic presence of the blue supermoon, and it's not just the moon that's stealing the limelight. The splendid ringed planet Saturn will elegantly share the stage with our celestial showstopper.
If the night sky in Dubai astounds you generally, this is going to be a very special evening to look up. So what exactly makes this moon super, you may ask? So the phenomenon of a supermoon stems from the moon's proximity to Earth during its full phase, creating an illusion of grandeur and increased brightness. It's going to be bigger, it's going to be brighter, it's going to be beautiful. So for an ideal view of the astronomical phenomenon, head out away from the city if possible, if you can, maybe to the desert, maybe Al Qudra, maybe Al Quanij, and stargaze at your leisure. You can do it on Wednesday, August 30, Thursday, August 31st. That will be the best. I know when this has happened, I've always talked about going out to the desert. I never have. However, even when you're in the city, you can still appreciate how beautiful it is, how stunning it is.
Oh my God, definitely. And tomorrow we know for a fact, not tomorrow, day after, we're going to be just sent a whole gallery of pictures of the moon behind Burj Khalifa, Burj Al Arab, those beautiful just visuals that photographers capture every time something like this
so true.
comes
It could
around.
be the rain, it could be the weather, it could be the moon, it could be an
Fog.
ice cream. I love that. I feel like we're such a community. It's like passing it to your friend. Hey, look, a photo I took. And we're like, oh, that's an amazing photo. Let us show all our friends. We happen to have a lot of friends.
And the full moon manifestations that will be going on full swing, because now suddenly it's just completely blown up. Full moon manifestations.
No, I've never heard of that.
No way. Are you serious? You've not heard?
Any excuse for a manifestation.
No, I'm serious. Like, full moon manifestations are such a thing because it's like at the best point for you to, like, the moon's energy and the sun's energy, and it's just like the best time to like actually put what you want out there into the universe, and you attract it, and you just like meditate, go into your zone, cleanse yourself. Moon cleansing.
Never heard of moon cleansing.
Oh yeah, I've just heard of it recently.
Moon cleansing.
So cool.
Moon cleansing. How do you moon cleanse?
You moon cleanse. Like, you just meditate under the moon. You light a candle. You kind of just like, get into your own zone. And kind of, put out the thoughts you want in the universe. Get rid of the bad energy.
I thought it was like a shower.
Breathe in the good energy, maybe.
I thought moon cleansing was like a shower thing. It's like wash off and then under the... I don't know what I thought. I just thought it was a great phrase, moon cleansing. Let's try it. This is the week to do it if we want to. Jumping into our next story, stolen supercars. Yes, supercars were stolen, but they were found on the way to Dubai. Not only were they were stolen from Premier League footballers, and they have a huge thank you for UK police who found their supercars before they were transported by thieves to Dubai. The players who have not been named, their names have been kept out of the press. Between them, they have 100 international caps. So we can imagine they're fairly famous and fairly good at what they do.
So the Ferrari and Range Rover Sport are among the 517 vehicles are part of vehicles with a combined value of more than £16 million recovered so far in 2023. The cars were expected to raise twice or thrice times their value in a sale in the Middle East.
And Phil Pentelow of the Stolen Vehicle Intelligence Unit in Essex, UK, he made a statement on the return of the Supercars to the footballers, which is probably quite a cool moment. He said the footballer, one of them, came to retrieve the vehicle. He was genuinely thankful and taken aback by the lengths that the police had gone to get the cars. He said the car was clearly dear to him, which is very nice to hear. And he was very impressed with the service he'd had from the police. He said, even though he plays for one of my team's biggest rivals, he was a nice guy and down to earth. It was good to help him, which is kind of sweet.
It's so interesting. Such an interesting story there. Like a lot of different parts to
a lot of questions. Who? Where was it stolen? And then the cars were actually found outside of the UK.
Yeah.
But they were going to be transported on cargo over here. Along with, so there was a Ferrari, Range Rover Sport, and then loads of parts to the sum of millions.
Okay. So, I mean, how do they at all think they'll get away with such a massive heist? Car heist. It's so...
Well, interesting that you say that, because if you look at the Twitter feed of the SVIU, which is the intelligence unit for finding stolen cars in the UK, lots of cars stolen, lots of nice cars. So, I think maybe we'd be surprised because it seems like there's a lot going missing. But they're obviously on the ball with this one. Imagine a Ferrari stolen.
I can imagine a Ferrari abandoned, but not stolen. You heard about the abandoned Ferrari in Burj Khalifa?
Well, it was abandoned. I think the location of Burj Khalifa may not have been clear, but yes, there's
abandoned Ferraris. Happen. Yeah, people abandon. I get that. I understand that, but stolen, it's more difficult to kind of grasp.
About people abandoning
One
cars?
Second. What am I? You're right. You're right. 1 second. I get stolen cars. I don't get abandoned.
Both are hard to comprehend. The reality of people actually going to steal a supercar and the reality of someone abandoning one is just beyond my...
Get that. If they're in that financial situation where they have to leave the country or whatever it is, you abandon your car.
That sort of behavior.
Definitely not.
We're going to jump into our next story. Speaking of abandoned supercars, let's jump into a wildly different story. We're talking about an Ironman in Ireland. So Richard Fitzgerald, CEO and founder of Augustus Media, he completed the Ironman Cork recently. Of course, Ironman is a big international brand. How people are getting from Dubai to Ironmans around the world. Are they doing it in Dubai? What are the tips? What's the comfort level? How did he actually do and how did the race go on the day? He's going to join us after this very, very, very short break. Hey guys, welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show. Today we're talking all things Ironman with a recently completed Ironman, not for the first time. Richard Fitzgerald, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me on.
Congratulations on the Ironman Ireland. How did it go?
It went really well, actually. Yeah, I finished it in Cork in Ireland on the 20th of August, Sunday, and it's a 3.9 kilometer swim, 180 kilometer bike, and a 42 kilometer run. I did it in 10 hours 19 minutes, but they shortened the swim. It was rough conditions and tragically 2 people passed away, which we find out about afterwards.
Wow.
And as does tend to happen sometimes in these sort of difficult events. But yeah, I made it back and really pleased with overall how it went.
So I just have a question. So Tri is obviously a really big sport in Dubai. We have the Ironman in Dubai, but a lot of people look abroad as well. So what is it like to plan an Ironman or any kind of event abroad, and what's the process like to get in there?
Yeah, triathlon is one of those sports that not everyone knows about. It's kind of it's obviously swimming, cycling, running, but it wasn't something we all knew growing up. But I think in other countries, it's not necessarily hasn't got a home. The first ever triathlon Ironman was in Kona in Hawaii in 1978, where a few guys just started out for the day, and it kind of developed from there. And it's really has sort of developed over the years. In Dubai particularly, a lot of people, as we're blessed really. We've got great desert cycling tracks. We've got lots of beach and plenty of places to run. So You see lots of international triathletes and different people taking up the sport when they're here. We see there's a real push in the city for cycling. I could talk at length, but over the years, a lot of local event companies have put on a lot of events. The Triathlon Association of the UAE is a really well-run entity. It allows people like me to join the UAE triathlon team. They've actually got a contingent of nearly 40 people from all nationalities competing in Spain in a few weeks at the international ITU event. There's lots of acronyms in triathlon, lots of different bodies, but that's one of the distances, that's one of the events. And many people as well took part in the Triathlon 70.3 World Championships yesterday, the day before in Lahti in Finland. And many people from the UAE took part with the best triathletes in the world. So there's a whole host of things going on. The season will start on the 1st of October here in a race in Abu Dhabi in Horadiyat, how do you pronounce it? And on the 7th, there's the Roy Nasser Memorial with Race ME down in now rebranded Deer Islands, Dubai Islands. So there's loads of events around the year. I train with a group called Bespoke Ride, BR, and we've over 200 athletes in that group. So I get good coaching from them, and we go out many times in the week together with a really good thing. Yeah, so my coach and I planned that event at the start of the year, and I signed up in January, and I messaged him in March, and I said, I don't think I can do this. He said, well, we haven't started training yet, so chill. And then I just did a kind of a 4 or 5 months. So I think of long endurance, like you need minimum 12, if you did a marathon, you need 12 to 16 weeks training. But Ironman, you need a bit longer. You kind of have to have it in your mind for a year or two.
Fine, but there's one thing about planning an Ironman, which I think Simran and I, we're thinking 2023, Dubai.
Yeah. 2024.
2024.
Yeah.
That's planning it here.
Sensible.
But you did it abroad, and you've done another Ironman abroad as well. Do you have any tips for Simran and I off to Finland next? Maybe Kona.
Yes.
Yeah, do you have any tips?
So that's the thing. The season happens that time, but in the summer, what do people do? And everyone picks a European race. Lots of people do, and I picked that one. And I trained indoor and outdoor. I did a little bit more indoor training this summer, and I was ready to go basically. But you have to pack the bike. You have to get your nutrition. Emirates is great with bikes because you don't need to pay extra. They actually looked after me. To shout out Emirates, I was flying into Ireland, and I was, working till all hours on the way over, so I was able to get an upgrade to business class. So they really do look after trial.
What was that like on the way back when could you imagine doing it in Ireland and just being like, your body just stuck in one position? Yeah,
we all like the sort of upgrade and the service that Emirates do, but particularly so business trips and things like that, but particularly if you're doing a sport, being rested is so important. And I was just counting on those hours sleep, even when I got to Ireland, there's a lot of things you have to do before the event. So you have to check your bike in, you have to check in, it's a logistical, with 3 different sports, you can't forget one thing. You can't forget to charge your watch. You can't forget your shoes. You can't forget helmet. You can't forget your race belt. You can't forget what are the nutrition that you need. So you need 60 to 90 grams per hour. You need your electrolytes. You need absolutely everything, and you don't need to worry about losing luggage, as happened to me with a different airline in an Italy training camp last year. So having that, big shout out. Thank you for that, taking the peace of mind away from me, letting me sleep. And so that trip part in Emirates, thank you for that, of the trip was good. But just in general, planning in Europe, planning anywhere, the World Championships for the men next year is in Kona, Hawaii. There's also a 70.3 Championships in Taupau in New Zealand. So there's lots of regional races as well. Coming up, we've got Bahrain in December. There's Ironman in Oman. There's 2 in Oman. There's one in Muscat and one in Salalah. Yeah, so they're the 70.3. So the regional doesn't have a full one yet, but we've got another one coming up in different parts of the region as well. So yeah.
Well, all I know is how scary it is when someone in your family is actually taking part in these races, because they are they're treacherous, they're scary. So watching the updates of you finishing was fun to say the least, but you getting past the finish line every single time is always a blessing. So massive Well done to you. Hopefully it's the last one.
Yeah, and since you're doing it, we can train together now.
Well, we'll do it.
Obviously.
We'll fly Emirates. I think we'll
The ice baths.
We'll do different things. Maybe we won't sleep. We'll probably, go to the bars.
I'm okay with the ice bath training.
Yeah, cool. That's after or before the running, swimming, and cycling.
Moon cleanse, ice bath training.
Moon cleanse, ice bath training.
Yeah,
We're
cool.
down for that part.
Well, no, it's great. I'm glad I inspired you to come out, and it's cool to be able to do 5-6 hours training with you guys. Yeah.
Cannot wait. Well, we know it's an amazing community. So also well done to BR, because I know that they help you every step of the way. And it is cool to watch the Tri community in Dubai, because you are massively involved. Thank you, Richard Fitzgerald, for joining us.
Thanks, Casey. Thanks, Simran.
Very
Happy
shortly
Umran.
after the break, we're going to be joined by one of the UAE's most successful entrepreneurs, Saygin Yalcin. He's going to be with us after this short break. Welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show. What a show we have in store for you right now. With us today is one of the UAE's most successful entrepreneurs. His company made $1.1 million in its first 8 weeks of operations. He's the founder and CEO of Supercars.com, which was acquired by Souk.com and then by Amazon. And he has established SellAnyCar.com and SellAnyHome.com. Welcome to the show, Saygin Yalcin. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and how this whole journey started.
Okay, so where do I start? I started back in Germany. I was born and raised there, and then I studied there and in the US and Mexico. Then I kind of said, okay, I should do something with my life. So I moved to Dubai just after graduating by the age of 24. I came here with a backpack. That's what I always been saying. I had literally nothing. And then I had an idea though. I sat in a restaurant with free Wi-Fi here in Barsha. And yeah, it took around 6 to 9 months until we raised the money, and we started the first and then later the largest fashion store online. And then, as you said, it became, now ultimately it became Amazon with the merger with Souk.com.
How did that feel, going from backpack, Barsha, connecting to an internet there, to being partner of a company with 3,000 people? What was that like for you personally?
I don't really know how I felt. Like, it is something, usually people ask me, okay, so did you know that this is going to be successful? Did you know that you're going to be here for a decade? I didn't have time to think about all the future. I was in the moment. So I had to really think about that day and the task I had to finish. And that kind of flew. I mean, people who move to Dubai, they might confirm this. Usually the first 6 months are the most difficult to kind of get to know people, to get your social. And the people who survive the first 6 months, I mean, survive in terms of they don't want to leave, they have another milestone, that's the 2-year milestone. And if you can't, then you're here. So basically what I'm saying is, Dubai is a land of opportunity. So you can really build your legacy here. You can come here and just do tourism and have fun, but then you'll be flushed out. I think this is a city where people really want to achieve something and be a go-getter and actually achieve their vision. If you just come here to have fun, I think the city's gonna rotate you out.
100%. And also, have you seen the movie Bezos?
What movie?
The movie Bezos?
No, I haven't.
So it's about just like how Amazon started and like the story of Jeff, like just from the inception of the idea to creating it. So do you feel like you somewhere relate to Amazon as Jeff Bezos and like the creation there?
Look, I don't like to compare myself. He is on a whole different level, but I think what I like about him and learned from him is the customer obsession. I think it's very important to focus on your customer. I think like within the team, kind of everybody ultimately reports to me, but then I report to the customer. So I don't kind of say like I'm the boss. The customer usually is the one who decides if we're successful. I think that's what I've learned from him. Also, his day one mentality I like a lot. By the way, we're turning 10 years on Friday. SellAnyCar.com. Yeah.
Congrats.
So we're celebrating our 10-year anniversary. And till today, I still say we are a startup. I say we don't lose the flexibility, the mentality a startup has, because that is really what Jeff Bezos would say, the day one mentality. It's very important.
Speaking of that kind of means like an all-in 24/7 mentality, because that's what startup is about. Where do you sit on the work-life balance conversation?
Look, don't take me as a good example there. I literally have this all-in mentality and a no-limit mentality, so I am all in on my work. I actually, literally this year, I slept almost 3 months in the office without kind of going back home. And it is something which, I don't know, I wouldn't say you should copy me, but I'm obsessed with business and all I do is business. I work, literally I'm available 24/7. I haven't taken a day off in a decade. And if I would take a day off, I think I would feel like that's work.
Okay, I mean, like when the drive and passion is that strong, of course, like you just want to give it your all completely. So I don't think the 4-day work week is for you.
What's that?
4-day work week, like right now we're at a 5-day work week. Sharjah shifted to a 4-day work week. That's where the world wants to shift.
Nationally.
Oh yeah, I mean, look, whatever floats your boat. I don't think that would be something for me or for my team. I'm actually also not a proponent of work from home. I think there's some kind of energy that gets transmitted within the team, sitting in the same room and kind of being human. I mean, if you tell me that your human energy doesn't matter, then I would say you're at risk of being replaced by robots.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
You said you're coming into 10 years of sell any car, which is incredible. You must have taken some risks to get to this point. Can you describe your biggest?
Risks. I mean, there are 4 types of risk, right? Team risk, market risk, financing risk, and product risk. I think we took all of them. In the beginning, obviously, the financing risk was before we turned profitable. The financing risk is heavy. Generally, look, there's always the risk of being not enough of an innovator, right? I'm not saying an inventor, because we haven't invented car trade. What we've done is we took the car trade and said, how should it work, not how does it work, and then became innovative within the business model. So I think one of the most important things is, what I always say is the unknown unknowns. So stuff you can't really prepare for because you don't know that you don't know. So for that, the remedy is being agile and being innovative. So always coming up with new ideas and changing constantly so you don't become that non-changing, deprecated business that you're always at risk of.
That's so interesting. And also Sell Any Cars, we've used that platform so many times. To like sell one of our cars back in COVID. And it wasn't the great time for business, right? COVID period. So can you just tell us a little bit about that time frame and like how the business, or has it bounced back since?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I remember the lockdown, and for 2 weeks it was illegal to leave the house. Like literally, in those 2 weeks we still bought and sold cars. But we couldn't do the title transfers. And we have done that because we had already built remote selling. So basically you could sell your car from your phone. What we couldn't do is we could technically not own the car until the traffic authorities reopened. But I think in those 2 weeks, we had 100% market share because nobody else was buying and selling cars. What we did is we piled up all the deals, and when they reopened, we then did the transactions. Why I'm saying this is because even then, we didn't have a crystal ball. We didn't know that this would happen. But we were innovative, and we said, well, maybe one day social distancing or physical distancing would be required. But we built it for something else. We said it's very convenient to sell from home. And now we offer home inspections and selling from home. So
COVID didn't really impact your business all that much?
It did. For 2 weeks, we couldn't kind of register the transactions, but that it was a V-shaped recovery.
No, with everyone wanting to sell their cars during COVID, did you have like an influx of used cars and not that many, like any buyers wanting to buy those cars?
So it was an interesting curve. So when I look at the curve, obviously we were growing, then COVID hit, and we had a deep dive, and then we had a V-shaped recovery, and then it was a boom. For some reason, cars became more valuable, used cars, because there was a shortage. Usually it came from the new car shortage. So people were switching to used cars. You might remember the chip shortage, and then the new cars couldn't get delivered, so people were actually buying used cars. And then the used cars were in demand, so the prices went up. And then we had a rebound. So it basically then kind of cooled down again, and now we are normal. So we're in normal growth rates.
And when did sellandyhome.com come into play?
So sellandyhome.com was a short stint. It was just for us to see if it would work in real estate as well. But I don't think our business model works in real estate. So we kind of just did a short test and stopped it.
Interesting that you say that you did a short test and stopped it. That was probably a good move. But you mentioned people coming here for 6 months, and if they stay, they'll last 2 years. Mm-hmm. When you look at other entrepreneurs, I'm sure you've had a lot of conversations, what are the common mistakes that entrepreneurs maybe coming to Dubai might make?
So first of all, if you come in as an entrepreneur, that's already great. Because most people come here just as tourists, right? And then they check it out and they say, oh, this is a beautiful place, like a theme park, right? Mm-hmm. And I like that, right? You can have it as a theme park, but your life in Dubai is real. It's not a theme park. You actually have to add value to the city. You have to see what you can build for yourself. The city is not going to serve you for nothing. So if you come here to just have fun, then stay as a tourist and leave. But if you really want to build something, this is the place to build your legacy. And I have said this for over a decade, that this place is a land of opportunity where you can build something, because the city itself is a startup. If you look at it, it adjusts so fast, right? It learns from other markets and then avoids the mistakes, takes the best of it, and is innovative. So I like that a lot. So it's good to be an entrepreneur here, because I've been an entrepreneur in several countries, right? I can compare. I know where bureaucracy is a headache. I know where tax systems are really against entrepreneurs. I also know that the speed of responsiveness the government has to certain shortcomings is super important. And here I can literally go to the Department of Economy, or I can talk to the people in charge of laws and say, I think we should relook into this and maybe you should take our feedback. And they do take our feedback. This is very important. And the amazing part is, then it gets implemented fast. I mean, what's the point of telling somebody that this doesn't really work and it takes 5 years to implement, right? So this is the place if you want to build your business. But it's not, as I said, I see a lot of people come here and say, I'll do a bit of business and I'll have 18 hours of fun. No, unless you're already rich.
Oh yeah, very seldom cases we find that. But I want to ask, like, you've had such a trajectory, right? Like, you've started a business which got acquired, then you started another business and other vertical. So how important is it to keep evolving? You've mentioned that, but I just want to like know your proper thoughts on changing, evolving, and like always going and looking for something next and not just stopping there.
So, well, when I start businesses, I usually look at big addressable markets. So, and big problems in markets. Because as a small secret to everybody here, a business solves a problem. And if it doesn't solve a problem in the market, it dies. So look at big problems, big pain points in the market. So when I came here, it was e-commerce, fashion online, kind of people told me, I'm talking 2009, right? People will never buy clothes online. I said, well, they will. No, there's a sizing issue. Today it's normal, right? Mm-hmm. If you think about it. But how many times did I hear, no way, this is a place with malls. People only go to malls, they will never buy online. Well, not true. Same thing with cars. When I tried to sell my car 10 years ago, it was a headache, right? It was risky, it took 2 months, you never got a fair price. And I said, no, you should build a company that promises to buy any car in 30 minutes. So Sell Any Car was born. And so this is how I look at building businesses. I'm not jumping from one business to another. If you look at it, I actually started with e-commerce in fashion as a vertical, but then it became multi-vertical, horizontal business. And then we moved into automotive. And within automotive, we stay innovative. I don't know what's the next. I mean,
give us some business ideas.
Yeah, we'll take some notes here.
I do invest in other entrepreneurs. I don't necessarily start every week another business. I invest into other entrepreneurs. And that's one of the great things, right? To see others grow. I call this the social lift, right? Because I had a social lift. I had people believing in me. I had mentors. I had business angels who took me out of university pretty much and said, you have nothing, but you have the fire in your eyes and you have, the willingness to achieve something. And that's what I can give back now. I think this is an amazing thing to do.
Finding people who believe in you is just a full game changer.
Yeah, but they do once you believe in yourself. Look, it's one of the most cliche sentences, like believe in yourself. Well, it's true, right? It's one of the things that you need to do, but it's not the only thing. Like mindset does not make you successful. Mindset is just the first step. And then you have 6 other steps I call, which is the craft of business, which you have to learn. Unfortunately, business is a craft and it's not just a dream and a mindset, right?
That's true.
Very quickly before you leave us, you've mentioned legacy once or twice. You've mentioned you don't know what's next. And you're also investing in other entrepreneurs. What kind of vision do you hope to be as your legacy? What would be your legacy, do you think?
My legacy has nothing to do with business. It has. I don't know if you know my story, but I have a sister that has an incurable disease since I was 8 years old, and I want to cure her. That's my legacy. Wow. That's what I'm working on.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Do you mean you're investing money into the
research
behind it?
Yeah.
Amazing.
And before we end the show, you've written a book as well, right?
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, I wrote a book. It came out over a year ago now. It's called, it's in 2 languages, in German and in English. It's called My Children Will Be Born Rich. And it sounds very provocative. It actually means how to win in capitalism and morality. So I consider rich people not only the winners in capitalism, but also the winners in morality. So how do you raise children, once I have children, that don't only win in business, but also win in being a good human?
Much needed.
Much needed. Best of luck with your legacy and
Thank you.
All that's to come. And also, we're looking forward to the book of the 7 crafts of business. When that comes out, I look forward to reading it. Thank you so much for your time this morning. Truly insightful and an incredible, inspiring journey. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Guys, that is all we have time for in the Lovin Dubai show this morning. We're back with you tomorrow morning, same time, same place. Happy Onam. Goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.